Hey, what's up, guys? And I'm making a return to YouTube after saying I'm doing it for like a year now. I'm gonna try to make a return back to YouTube. And with 21 days left till the draft, what better time to do it than now? We got my first mock draft on YouTube here. Well, I've really done my Substack, and then I decided, hey, why don't we bring it to the YouTube? So that's what I'm doing here today. So I did this a couple of days ago, and I think it went very well. So we're going to just talk about the picks. Other videos that are be coming soon are a couple other things I've already put on the Substack, including team mock drafts and which is the only one I've done so far is the Carolina Panthers. I was supposed to do Seahawks and Bears tonight. Don't know if that's going to happen, but those will be done at some point in the next couple of days. And then obviously all the other teams, hopefully I can get done and just other videos. So just be on the lookout. We're going to try to pump out content here, see if I can grow this thing because I genuinely like doing it. I just never really, and that's why I started doing the Substack because I get to type out everything. But I want to see if I can bring it back to YouTube and give it another chance. So we got the mock draft here. This is what I think. I say right here what I think will happen, not what I would do. Number one, CJ Stroud to the Panthers. So Panthers trade up to number one from number nine, give up DJ Moore and a bunch of picks. And you got to go get the guy that you believe in. It looks like CJ Stroud's the betting favorite. I'm still not buying into that completely. I still think Bryce Young has a very good case, and I still think they like him a lot. But Young, you got the size issue. CJ Stroud, you got the can he perform under pressure? There's some concerning things in his tape, but there's also a lot of things that you like in his tape. He's a pure pocket passer. He can make any throw out on the field. And just watch his tape. Some of the throws he makes are just beautiful. He is probably the best placement in the class. He does read the defenses fairly well. Um, but he's a pure pocket passer. He can move though. He can move. He just decides he doesn't really want to, and that's okay. He reminds me more of a Geno Smith from obviously from this year type player. That Geno he was great in the pocket, but he could move if he needed to. I think he's a little faster than Geno, but that's kind of what my comp is for CJ Stroud. Um, who I would go Bryce Young here, but I think that the Panthers will end up taking Stroud. Um, I think the Panthers is one of the best places for a young quarterback to go because I think it has a very good interior. I like the offensive line. Wide receiver core is iffy, especially losing DJ Moore now, and they have a good defense. So I think you build around a young quarterback, and I think they could really flourish. I think whoever goes to Panthers will really do well. So Stroud, Bryce Young, AR, Will Levis, I think they all could do well here. I'm gonna go Stroud here. If you want to read my full breakdowns on everyone, Substack, callback at five, pretty easy to find. Go to my Twitter. I always post them on there. Number two, Houston Texans take Bryce Young. I think this is their number one quarterback. And I was just finished watching it, put it on Twitter, told them everyone go look at it. My good buddy David Miller and Jackson Powers, J Pow NFL, go check them out. Um, they did a mock draft and they had AR here, and they said because they're not in a rush. The thing is, I think they are in a rush. I think they are in a rush to find a quarterback, and I think they have built something that a quarterback can thrive. They traded for Shaq Mason. They have Larry Tunsil, drafted Kenyon Green last year. Kenyon Green wasn't great, but you hope he develops. And then you can attack the rest off the line in this draft. There's many other places you can get. Hoping this isn't a 2 round mock draft or anything, but hoping for like a John Michael Smith in the second round, maybe a Joe Tippmann in the second, third round. And then you'll see what I do here later, which makes the offensive line even stronger. Bryce Young, though, talking about him as a player, man, he is just the best playmaker in this class. AR's got the big arm. Willow's got the big arm. AR's got the legs, and he can run everywhere. He's fast, but purely off creativity and how he plays the game, everything looks so easy for Bryce Young. And even when the team wasn't as talented this year, I know everyone's gonna say it's Alabama, it's Alabama. Yeah, sometimes that doesn't matter. Um, when you look at this Alabama team, Jameer Gibbs was the leading receiver, yeah, at running back. Corey Brooks is a solid receiver. Jermaine Burton, he was inconsistent, and I'm an Alabama fan, as you, so I'm hard on this team. Kobe Prince, Isaiah Bond are some nice pieces for the future, but they were okay for last year. I think they'll be nice in the future, and maybe even see them here in a couple years in the mock draft. Um, but the team in the offensive line was okay. And Bryce Young at some points had to will this team to wins. And you saw it when he went out against A&M. The team didn't look the same. And I like Milrow as much as the next guy, but the team didn't really look the same. They pulled out the win very late, but man, it did not look the same. And it relied on Jameer Gibbs heavily. So Bryce Young, I think, has all the makings to be a great quarterback in this league. And the only thing is his size. And it's not even the height. He throws over the middle of the field just about as good as anyone in this class. The height's not a big issue to me. It's the weight, 204, which is bigger than I thought he was, which is good. And I think he can fill out this frame a little bit more. I think he could get into I think he could play it. I don't think he's 204 right now. I think that was just a combine win. But I think he could play at 205 comfortably when you get him into an NFL locker room. But man, like he said in the combine, he's been the size his whole life. He knows how to play. He's taken big hits at Alabama, some that should have been flagged, and he always gets back up. He only had one injury here at Alabama, and that was kind of he tried to stop himself, and you just can't do that. And it was only an AC joint, so and that's why his season looked a little shaky towards the end, especially you look at that LSU game. I mean, Tennessee game he was flawless, but the LSU game was a little shaky. But I think Bryce Young's QB1, and I think Houston will have him at QB1. I think he's a special type of player, and the only thing is his weight. But I think that's also what makes him special. I think the size and how he can maneuver the pocket, use his arm angles to get and make every throw. And he has an NFL caliber arm. It's not a cannon by any means, but he has an NFL caliber arm. So number 3, Arizona Cardinals. I think this is if they don't trade down, this is the pick. Will Anderson, he's a really good run defender. And he's a good pass rusher. He doesn't have a lot in his bag. He needs to develop more of a bag, but that's okay right now. I'm not worried about that. He also misses tackles in the backfield, which is a big concern. Um, but and we're seeing it from another guy that will probably go day 2, Drew Sanders. He misses a lot of tackles. He was an edge rusher at Alabama before he transferred to Arkansas, play linebacker this year. So I think when Will Anderson gets to the league, I think he might be a better tackler. He just needs to get into the lab with Brian Branch for real, who we'll talk about in a second. But who's also his best friend. They're apparently best friends, so that's cool. But Will Anderson, I mean, he's a very good player. I know my boy David Miller's not as high on him, but I think Will Anderson's a top 5 player in this class. Um, and he's a great leader. And I think that's what they need. Besides Buda Baker, Cardinals don't seem to have any leadership whatsoever. And I think that Anderson provides leadership, and he provides talent, provides something on the edge with J.J. Watt retiring. I think this pick makes a lot of sense for the Cardinals, and if they stick here and don't trade out, I think this will be the pick. 4, Colts. I love this pick. Colts take AR. Well, so there's 2 quarterbacks left, and the good thing is Steichen, their new head coach, developed 2 different quarterbacks. Justin Herbert, his rookie year, who had one of the better rookie years we've ever seen, and Jalen Hurts. Will Levis is kind of like a Justin Herbert type player, and AR is kind of like a Jalen Hurts type player. and I think they'll opt for AR here. Man, he's so special as an athlete. Has a cannon in his arm. He just needs to work on the lower body. I mean, work on the footwork. He maneuvers the pocket very well, and he seems to sense pressure very well, even though Florida wasn't that good. I think AR will have an easier job in the NFL, and hopefully the Colts can build around him. I think he's a lot more developed than people give him credit for, but he does have accuracy issues, which makes you wonder how if you can fix that. And if there's a guy that can fix that, I think that's Steichen. I think he's a very good head coach in this league. All right. 5. We got the Seahawks. Whoa, Seattle Seahawks taking Tyree Wilson. Man, this man is just weird. His build is weird. He's built like a Demogorgon. Um, he's got a wide tackling radius. He's got long arms. It's kind of cool. And I think Pete Carroll will have a blast developing this guy. He needs development. There's no ends, ifs, buts about it. But I think that Pete Carroll will be the guy that can get it out of him. Um, when you look at Tyree Wilson, he's edge rusher, but he's got to work on the pass rushing. He's not really a great pass rusher right now, but he has the traits to be a good pass rusher, and he has the tools, and it's about developing them. And I think they can do that. Seattle here at 5, 6. Jalen Carter's someone I don't know where to put him because I don't know. Carter's just been weird throughout this draft process. You have the story come out of the reckless driving incident that led to the death of a teammate and coach, and apparently he's not doing well in interviews. And then the other day he comes out and tells his agent, "Hey, I'm not talking to anyone in the top 10. Hey, by the way, dude, people can trade up for you." Just because they're not in the top 10 doesn't mean they can't trade up for you into the top 10. I don't know. Jalen Carter's had a weird draft process. And he went from being the number one defensive player on my board, and he's dropped a little bit because of this weird draft process. But as a player, he's phenomenal. But it's just like, I don't know where to put him, man. It's like you're trying to make this easier on yourself, and he's making it harder. Anyways, as a player, Jalen Carter is phenomenal. He's a great pass rusher from the inside. He just eats up blocks. He really just like as a player, he's phenomenal. It's just been a weird draft process for him, and I don't know where he ultimately ends up. But with Dan Campbell, I think Dan Campbell's putting together a really nice team, and they need help. I like the edge rushers. I think you still probably need one more. I like Justin Houston. I think he's more of a rotational guy. Hutchinson had a really good year last year. You need more of the interior presence, and Jalen Carter's got that. He's one of the most dominant players I've seen. Um, he provides pass rush as a defensive tackle, which is very valuable, and he can stop the run at a high level. So he's a he was my second player overall on my board for forever until all this stuff starts coming out. And talent wise, yeah, he's still second, but it's like I've had to dock him a little bit because I just don't know. Do I trust him to be the adult that you're supposed to be in the NFL? I don't know. I really don't. So Jalen Carter's been weird. David said that he doesn't really think too much about it, but I do. I'm really concerned about it. So 7, we got a trade. And Las Vegas is actually trading out this pick. And I saw something that said they'll either trade up or they'll trade down, but they're not picking at 7. So we'll see how likely that is. I have the Tennessee Titans coming up and getting Will Levis. He just feels like a Mike Vrabel type player. Am I wrong about that? I don't think I am. And I think that Levis doesn't have to play right away. But I think he could. I think he could. I think most of his mistakes come from trying to play hero ball because the Kentucky team was very bad. And then Tannehill, you can move off Tannehill, give the keys to Levis. As much as I love Malik Willis, He's not stopping me from taking Will Levis here. Strong, strong arm. He's got to work on the footwork and he's got to work on sensing pressure. It's kind of like Daniel Jones esque. Doesn't sense pressure very well. Um, but they signed Andre Dillard, so you help improve the offensive line, even though it's still very bad. And hopefully, Willis can develop. But yeah, he's got a strong cannon for an arm. He's got the physique. He's loves showing off that physique, and apparently that's off-putting to teams. I don't really know. I don't really care, to be honest. Will Levis, I think he's a little bit better than people give him credit for, but I think this fit makes a lot of sense. Seven, like I said, I think I said it in the bottom. Yeah, Levis fits a variable type player. I just think he's a variable type player. I think the Titans will love Will Levis, so they have them trading up. I don't have the details right now. I didn't really put those in here, but just know Levis is Titan. 8. I have another trade. Washington Commanders trade up for Christian Gonzalez, who I think fits what they want perfectly. I think he fits their zone scheme perfectly. Gonzalez has fluid hips. He tested phenomenally at the combine. He's a phenomenal athlete. Um, and he's getting better with the ball in the air. He's getting better with his ball skills. And he's he's like my cornerback 1B. I still like Witherspoon quite a lot, and he's my CB 1A. These two are the CB 1 and 2, but really 1 and 1 for me. And Gonzalez, I mean, I think he fits Washington perfectly. And I think Atlanta has a guy that fits them perfectly more down the board while adding more value to a team that doesn't have much. So, number 9, the Chicago Bears get the dancing bear, and that's Paris Johnson Jr. Man, he's just built like what an offensive tackle should be. He can move very well, but he's got some technical things that it's like you gotta develop him, and he's not gonna be the best tackle. He's gonna struggle year 1, but year 2, year 3, he could be one of the better tackles in the league. And it's kind of like what happened with Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas to start the was not good, but once you get him developed, get him some reps, I think he could be that guy. And Paris Johnson already projects Fields once, so give him a chance. The way I like the way he moves. Sometimes he lets people get in his chest, and he gets off balance. It's like it's frustrating watching Paris Johnson Jr., but I see the vision, and he will be the first tackle off the board here for the Chicago Bears. Number 10. Now, this is a fit I just loved. Devon Witherspoon to the New England Patriots. As a Dolphins fan, this would scare me. But as a NFL fan, Devon Witherspoon fits what the Patriots look for in a corner. Sticky in man coverage. And this dude plays with attitude. He can lay a hit. He just plays with the type of attitude you look for, man. Um, he ran well at his pro day. He didn't participate in the combine because of an injury. Ran well at his pro day, 4.4 something. Um, and he can just lay a hit. He he's sticky and man, not the greatest in zone, but I'm not too worried about that right now. He's sticky in man coverage. He reacts very well. I think he's a good run. He's good in run support. He's a good I think he's a very solid corner. And I think he's just the type of player that the Patriots would enjoy having in the locker room because of the attitude he plays with. And it just reminds me so much of a Patriot type player. So that's number 10. 11, I think this makes a lot of sense for both sides. So you saw the Titans trade up for Will Levis. Las Vegas gets Peter Skronsky. He's drafted as a tackle. I put offensive lineman here because I think he will project better as a guard. But if you want to play off the tackle, you got another guy on the other side, Colton Miller. Leatherwood didn't work out, as we all knew he wouldn't, especially at 17. If he was a second, third round pick, he might have been better, but not 17. Skronsky, he's a really good run blocker. He can get bull rushed at times, but It's just due to his short arms, and that's why I think he projects better at guard. Um, he's played every position. He played guard Northwestern, he played tackle at Northwestern, and he was recruited as a center. So I think that's pretty interesting. You gotta protect Jimmy G. Um, I really like Skronsky here. I'm not gonna lie. I think this makes fit sense for both teams in that trade, and you recuperate some value and just give Jimmy G time because, like I said, he's not a high upside quarterback or nothing, but he can get the ball to Tay, he can get the ball to Renfro. So I think this makes a lot of sense. As a pass protector, I think he's good despite the short arms. But yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. 212. This one I love. Another dancing bear, Darnell Wright. This is why I said give me time because Bryce Young's going to have a nice offensive line in front of him. So you got Larry Tunsil left tackle, Kenyon Green. You got they need a center. Hopefully John Michael Schmitz. Or oh wait, no, I took him in the draft. Joe Tippmann. He's going to be the center. And you got Shaq Mason, and then you got Darnell Wright. Darnell Wright, he's a strong tackle. Um, I really like him though. I think he moves well. Uh, Sometimes he can get put off balance due to different moves, but like I said, he has a really good upside in my opinion. And you're not looking for a perfect prospect right now. You're looking for a guy that you can develop to help protect your quarterback. And Darnell Wright is rosing up draft boards, one of my favorite players in this class, and I think he can do that. He's good in both pass protection and he can I think he can block well in any scheme you want. Like I said, he's a fluid tackle, man. And I think he reminds me a lot of Trent Williams. And I did this last year with Ike Ekwonu, my number one player. He reminded me of Trent Williams. Now, Darnell Wright, not as close, but just if I was getting the guy that reminded me of Trent Williams in this class, it'd be right. But Ike Ekwonu was my number one player last year. He reminded me way more of Trent Williams. But yeah, 13 in the thumbnail. The New York Jets take Brian Branch, my favorite draft player in this class. Brian Branch. And the Jets probably go off the line here, but let me have my fun. Branch is just such a good player, man. And it's like he's so underrated. He's a top 10 player in the class for me. He never misses tackles, missed 3 tackles at Alabama. He's good in man coverage. He he needs to work. I think his. I was about to say he needs to work on ball skills. I think his ball skills are good for the NFL level. Um, his 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 speed is a question because of the combine numbers, but his play speed's very high. His read and reactability is very nice. Man, I just love Brian Branch so much. I can't even like put it into words. I love him so much as a player. And his mom acknowledged me on Twitter. So yeah. But yeah, if you want, yeah, he's just a sure tackler, man. Branch, Solace, and Reed. Like I said, Branch, Solace, and Reed would be scary. So the Eagles signed Hassan Reddick last year, and he was a D Player of the Year candidate. I don't know why I say it like that. He was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. So what do you do here? You get Hassan Reddick Jr. I love Nolan Smith, one of my favorite players in this class. He has an elite bend to play the position. His play speed, his effort, his he's a top 10 player in the class for me. His effort, his play speed, everything about him. He's a really good run defender for the edge position. He just plays with so much effort. He plays with so much tenacity. As a Bama fan, I don't like Georgia, but man, I love Nolan Smith. And he's just such a his teammates are infatuated with him. It's you can just tell. And yeah, I get he's not the biggest guy, but Eagles don't seem to care about that. They got Jordan Davis picking up in the inside, and then you got the two small guys, Hassan Reddick and Nolan Smith on the outside. just beating tackles because they're just faster. He blew up the combine. He's just a phenomenal player, and I think he fits well in the scheme. Another fit I love, JSN. He is rising back up my boards. He's a slot receiver, but man, he's a damn good one. He 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 ran faster than I thought he would. Ran 4.52, I believe. He's a really good route runner, man. He knows everything about route running, and he can make some fantastic catches. I remember watching the Michigan game last year or the year before last, 2021. He made one that was just phenomenal. He's got really good hands, really good route runner. There's not much you can really say about him. I think he fits nice next to Christian Watson. And when you have Jordan Love most likely being the QB1, sorry, most likely being the QB1, give him someone that will help make his job easier, and that is Jackson Smith and Jigba. 16, this is where we had the Falcons trade down Deontay Banks, cornerback, Maryland. He played every coverage at the book at Maryland. And in run support, he's so, but as a tackler, I think he's good. His ball skills are shaky, but again, I think you can develop ball skills. I don't think that's something to be worried about. But he's a smart player. He's another guy that I think plays with an edge about him, and I think he's good in man coverage. I think he's good in zone. I think he's a guy that I think he's kind of like AJ Terrell was, where everyone was confused with the AJ Terrell pick, but now we're looking at him. He's one of the better players from that 2020 class. I think Falcons could develop him alongside AJ Terrell and make a secondary with Jesse Bates that would be scary. But yeah, he's an athletic freak. Um, he blew up the combine. I think this, like I said, I think coach if he's coached up, I think he could be one of the best. This could be one of the best fits in the class. And I think he fits Atlanta's scheme very well. 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers take the. All right, so we said Dancing Bear for Paris Johnson, Darnell Wright. So what are we going to call Dewan Jones? Um, let's say the Dancing Giraffe. The Dancing Giraffe, because this dude's 6'8", 6'9", and he's a really good run blocker. He gets put off balance. He just feels like a Steeler. I said it right there. Dewan Jones just feels like a Steeler. He's a monster of run game. But that's what the Steelers want to do. They want to run the ball with Najee Harris. Now they need some help in the pass protection, and he can get developed there. But they like to run the ball, and they got Najee Harris. I think it's a good fit, and he has a lot of upside. He's gonna struggle with day one, but it's okay. You're picking for year two, year three, not day one. And I think Dewan Jones makes a lot of sense here. 18, the Detroit Lions. Now, this might seem crazy because the Lions have a good. What is this? Oh. The Lions have a good offensive line, a really good offensive line. Panay Sewell, Frank Ragnow, other guys that are slipping my mind. But Jones Jackson's he's okay. I think Osiris Torrance is an upgrade. He's a really good run blocker. He's a nasty player. He just plays with an edge about him. I think he's good in pass protection. I think he just helps make Jared Goff's life easier. And then whoever they take at quarterback in the coming years, he will make their job easier as well. 19, the Vikings trade up to 20 or 19 with Tampa Bay and take Lucas Van Ness. Man, the defense has no talent on it. It has very little talent. All the talent has left. And Lucas Van Ness, he's a great bull rusher. He reminds me of George Karlaftis. I think he has a lot. He has barely played any football because Iowa is just weird and they barely played him. But he has a ton of upside to be a disruptive player. But he needs to develop as a pass rusher. Right now, he's just a bull rusher, but he needs to develop a bag. And I also have questions about run defense, and he kind of gets pushed out of the way. But I think give him some time to develop with Daniil Hunter. I think that Lucas Van Ness to the Vikings makes sense. 20, a guy that kind of fell, which these things happen. But to my boy Jackson Powers team, Seattle Seahawks, Joey Porter Jr., a long pterodactyl corner. Uh, and he fits well next to Tariq Woolen. They're both long, athletic corners. Joey Porter doesn't have the best hips, in my opinion, but man, he can just stay with guys, and he had a phenomenal career at Penn State. Uh, I think he has good ball skills, but it's really just the build. He is look at his arms, like he has pterodactyl arms. I like Joey Porter. He fell a little bit here, but I people fall. It happens. But he's athletic enough for the game. He has an edge that he plays with, and he has a love for the game. I think I think Wilson and Porter on the new Seahawks defense would be fun. 21, Bijan. Bijan is running back one in this class. I don't think that's very up is up very whoa, cannot talk. I don't think that's up to debate. He has great vision. He doesn't have the home run hitting speed, but he's faster. He's 4.4 speed, 4.5 speed, something like that. He can at least make huge impacts on. He's not a Saquon level prospect, but he's in that next tier below. He's got great vision. He's got great contact balance. He rarely fumbles the ball. He can just go from one side of the field to the other and just juke moves and just his vision. Man, I think he would make this Chargers offense scary. And they had Bijan last year, they would have beat the Jaguars. So he is unbelievable. 22, my boy Matt's gonna like this pick. Zay Flowers, man, I love Zay. I really love Zay. He's explosive. He's shifty. He just makes defenses look silly. I think he has good hands. He has like occasional drops, but he can go up and make catches. He can look, but he has good tracking ability, in my opinion. He kind of reminds me of Terry McLaurin, but more shifty and more fast. I think McLaurin's more sorry. I think McLaurin's more technically sound, but as like a shifty kind of like Tavon Austin McLaurin mix, if that makes sense. I think he plays bigger than his size. I really like Zay. He's just a guy you want to get the hand or you just want to get the ball in his hands. I think he's a dangerous player. 23, Anton Harrison. Now, people are talking about Hendon Hooker. I don't see it. As I say here, Tampa Bay will be looking towards next class with Williams and May just a year away. Let's help them out a year early. They already got Tristan Wirfs. Let's go get one of the higher floor tackles. He's not the best athlete, but he doesn't play. He doesn't have the best play strength, but he's a good run blocker. He's a good pass protector. He's just a good offensive lineman. That's all I can tell. That's not all I can tell you, but that's what I'll tell you. He's going to be a good day one starter. Um, I like his hand placement. He can just stalemate defenders. Like I said, sometimes he doesn't have I don't know if he has the play strength of the NFL to be an elite tackle, but he'll be a solid tackle. 24, I had the Bengals trading up just a couple spots to make sure they snag Dalton Kincaid, the 24-year-old rookie. They let Hayden Hurst walk. Kincaid is better. He's just better. He's a phenomenal receiving. He's got that Travis Kelce like talent or skill set, and he can just make plays. He can make plays with the ball in his hands. He can go up and get the ball. I really like Kincaid. He's got really nice hands. Um, he's just in my thinking when making this pick is the Chiefs see how big of a game record Travis Kelce is. Let's go get the guy that looks kind of like Travis Kelce when you watch him play. I think Kincaid is a terrific prospect. Chase, Kincaid, Higgins, Boyd, Burrow, Deer, Lord, that's crazy. 25, Jordan Addison has slipped, and I think he could slip farther, but I like to have the Giants taking him. They've added some weapons and Paris Campbell, and I think they brought back Sterling Shepard. Man, That's not really moving the needle for me. Daniel Jones needs some guys, and Jordan Addison just gets open. I have questions about his play strength. I have questions about uh, contested catchability, but man, if he just gets open, he'll be able to be a solid target for you. I don't think he, I think he's kind of like Calvin Ridley, but like the light version. And I really like Jordan Addison, but I think I think he might slip here farther than people believe. I think the Giants need a weapon though. Paris Campbell's solid, but some of these aren't just they're just not moving the needle for me. And just go give it a chance and go get Jordan Addison. 26, man. When I made this pick, I was just kind of liking it. And I'm just gonna call him Ade because start his first name starts with Ade, his last name starts with Ade. Adeboare. There we go. He's an athletic freak. And he played. He's a defensive tackle. I was watching David and Jackson's mock, and I think they call him edge rusher. He's a defensive tackle. He's an athletic freak. He plays with he he's gonna be high on my board. He plays with great power. He plays with great. He's a high character guy. He plays with he plays with the love of the game. He just looks like he loves the game. I think he's a good pass rusher. He's a okay. He's a solid pass rusher for the inside, and he's just a hell of an athlete. Ade is going to be a phenomenal player. The Cowboys kind of went that way with Micah Parsons, who is an insane athlete at the linebacking position. They get another insane athlete the inside, which they need help with DeMarcus Lawrence on the outside. Micah Parsons, he plays edge rusher, and linebacker. I think Ade makes a lot of sense here. 27, John Michael Schmitz to the Bills. They need help. This is going to be quick. I said short and sweet. This is going to be quick. They need help in the inside. John Michael Schmitz is the best center in the class. He's great run block. He's great run blocking. He just stalemates defenders. He just does. He erases defensive tackles. And the Bills desperately need help on the inside of the offensive line. Now, this pick is going to look confusing. Calvin Ridley has been unsuspended. He has served his year term, and Kirk Cousins, Christian Kirk had a great year. But the thing is, Christian Kirk is a slot receiver. Ridley is a good outside receiver. Is Zay Jones the next guy? I don't think so. Now, Quentin Johnston, I have questions, but also he has a high upside. He runs in 4.4s and he has a great wingspan. He just doesn't use it to his advantage. And another guy had a questions about was T. Higgins, and he fixed it. And hopefully Quentin Johnson can do the same thing. If he can, this Jags receiving core is going to look nice, and Trevor Lawrence is just going to have a lot of fun. He doesn't have a great route tree right now, but he's playing with one of the best route runners in the league. Quentin Johnston, I think, fits nicely with the Jaguars. I didn't see anything else really worth taking here, and I think Quentin Johnston's just got kind of a high upside for the Jaguars. 29, Kalijah Cansey slips a little bit, but um, did I spell San Francisco? I think I did. Anyways, New Orleans Saints. They need help on the inside of the defensive line. Cansey is the second or third, depending on how you feel about Brian Bresee, who didn't make this mock. He'll probably make my final mock draft, but he didn't make this one. Cansey's a great pass rusher. He played despite his size, despite him being small. He's a plus run defender. He plays with power. I really like him, man. I really do. He plays well in space, and I don't know. I just really like Elijah Cansey. I think he could be a very good player. 30. The Eagles take Jahmyr Gibbs, man. He's a dynamite. He's fast. Now he doesn't break tackles, as Jackson Powers once said. He doesn't break tackles, but so I don't think that really matters. They seem to pride themselves on these type of guys, taking Kenny Gainwell, who I think Jameer Gibbs is just like an ultra version of that. He runs a 4.34, I believe. He has the receiving ability. You can put him out wide. He led Alabama in receiving yards. Uh, Jameer Gibbs, I think it's just he fits Philly. I think he does, and that's just another weapon for Jalen Hurts at his disposal. He's going to get paid $50 million and gets to throw the ball to everyone ever. Devontae Smith wide open. AJ Brown can just stack defenders and take it over him. Jameer Gibbs out the backfield just can run 40 yards down the field. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I mean, I love the dude, but dang, he's getting paid. He's going to get paid $50 million to have a super easy job. I love Jameer Gibbs. He needs to improve his vision. But I mean, I think he has real potential as a back in this league, and he's going to be a fun fantasy guy. And the last pick of the first round, Kansas City Chiefs take Broderick Jones. Um, he's a weird player. I think he's a great zone blocker. I think he moves well in space, but his hands are an issue. He doesn't place them right a lot of the time. He's got a lot to fix, but I think a team like the Chiefs can take a chance on him. He also seems to be low. The NFL seems to be lower on him. That's why he's kind of lower in my mock than other people's. But like I said, I think he plays with good power. I think he's good in pass protection. I think he's a good zone blocker. But his hands and I think he has a little bit. He is like light feet. I like it. He has light feet. It's nice. But yeah, I think he fits well. And we're gonna throw in some teams that don't have a first round pick. First off, and who could be available there. Like I said, I didn't do a mock for this, but who could be available there? Rams, BJ Ojolari, young player. He's got when I was talking about some guys don't have moves in the bag. Yeah, BJ Ojolari has a bag. He has some interest. I think he has one called like a ghost move or something like that. It's kind of cool. BJ Ojolari is going to be a fun player for the Rams to use. Matthew Bergeron, the Dolphins need help at right tackle. That's really so they can go make a Super Bowl push. And he's the only one worth taking remotely soon. Zach Harrison, he he's fun. He plays with a lot of power. He plays with a lot of edge, and he really turned on for Ohio State for the last couple of years. And I think the Broncos could use a guy like that. I think they like Baron Browning, and I think they like Zach Harrison. Carl Brooks did not get invited to the combine for some reason, but he's a good interior presence for a team that needs it in the Browns. And I think he'd be available at pick 74. And I forgot to put pick 99 in here. Eli Ricks, long corner. But he just didn't play a lot of football this year for Alabama. So, yeah, those were the mocks. Tell me your favorite pick. Tell me your least favorite pick. Hopefully, I can start being consistent and love doing what I do here. But I'm not going to do it unless I love doing it, and I won't do it unless I want to put stuff out there. So hopefully I'll be consistent. But yeah, y'all have a great day. Also, soon I have a mock on David's channel with him, 2-round mock with him and Jackson. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, um, anyone want to come on this channel, just hit me up, man. I'm always open to that. It'll be fun. Team mocks coming. Go check out the Substack, Colebag at 5. Go check out the Twitter, Colebag at 5. But yeah, this hopefully all this stuff works out. Tell me what you think about the mock. Everyone have a great day. I'll see you later. Peace.